Hello and welcome to a very special edition of this program, which is featuring an exclusive interview with Sameera Aziz. Sameera Aziz is a well-renowned, iconic figure from Saudi Arabia. She's in London visiting the International Media Conference, but we are very privileged and honoured to have Sameera Aziz to the program. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to London.
Walaikum assalam.
First of all, Sameera Aziz, how was your journey here in London, and what's your experience?
The journey, yeah, it was a long flight and it made me so much tired. But yeah, I'm happy to be here and to see the love and care and support from the people from UK.
Any sort of experience or anything you was expecting different from Saudi Arabia when you landed here in London?
Yeah, I was expecting definitely that the people there they will be so humble and educated, and of course I find them the same. Whatever I was, everything was so organized. I'm really touched and inspired and impressed.
Have you felt any difference in the climate, the weather?
Yeah, it is so hot in Jeddah. So here the people are saying it's hot here, but for me it's okay. It's very good weather here.
Sameera Aziz, maybe you'd like to explain to the listeners your main purpose of visiting London. I know you're here for a very important conference. If you'd like to briefly just clarify about this event which has been initiated here in the UK.
Yeah, I'm here to attend international media conference as a speaker, and it is of course it is honor for me. I have been done so many international media conferences. Last time I attended in Karachi, the venue was in Karachi, and now here. So of course it's my pleasure, it's my passion to communicate to the world to represent my country, Saudi Arabia. So I'm so honored and glad to be here for this reason.
Now, during our conversation, you have been explaining vaguely to me about your background, about your achievements, and the passions, the inspirations, and the challenges. You have so much love for Saudi Arabia, but originally your family are not from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Actually, my family, I am from a very multicultural background. My family, they migrated from India, from the Lucknow region they went to Bangladesh for a quite short time. Then they went to Karachi. Then they migrated to Saudi Arabia, and then they migrated to America. So that is my family background. I was born in Saudi Arabia in Al Khobar city, and some of my childhood I spent in Karachi as well. But that was a very short span of time, and my brought up and everything. I married in Saudi Arabia, and then I become a very patriotic Saudi, and I have been working in media for this goal to communicate to the world for the image of Saudi Arabia and to remove or correct the misconceptions about my country.
You've, with emphasis, with passion, with inspiration, you use the word being very patriotic of Saudi Arabia, although the roots are from the South Asia. Any particular reasons you have this love, this passion for Saudi Arabia?
The love is created first of all by Allah, and but the people as well. When I was there, I was dealing with the society. Everybody was so loving and caring with me. For work, for example, because I was hardworking, I was passionate for my education, and how the support and love and care I received from the community people. So it made me feel, when I was traveling abroad, everybody was saying, oh, you are from Saudi Arabia. They are so illiterate, they are so cruel, and this. I said, why they are saying like that? Because with me, my personal experience was totally
But
opposite of
how
that.
would you define and justify and defend Saudi Arabia from some of the misconceptions which we read about, which we hear about here in the West or throughout the world about the female gender having inequality and also not equal rights and this oppression in the 21st century?
I can't say that we don't have equal rights. uh, we have, there we have something like, it's a matter of our religion. We are the Muslims, and we have some limits, and we should obey as a Muslim our rule. Our society doesn't say don't educate. We are very educated women. The Saudi woman is very highly qualified and educated. Our Saudi government has been bestowing us lots of scholarships. If you see, in every area, in every road, street, a single small street, we have at least three schools for the women. They are. And for me, my own personality is an answer to the world, like uh, how much the support and care I have been receiving. I always say that if I was not in Saudi Arabia, I was not Sameera Aziz today. If I was in any other society, I was not that successful. And it made me, to I don't need to justify. I am there as a personality. There are so many negative propaganda which is definitely false and incorrect, and Saudi Arabia has been very close society. They didn't fire back. They didn't come back to say no, you are wrong, you are just accusing us. And now I am here to tell them, to show them the true picture about Saudi Arabia. Something which is, if you are, I don't like myself to come out without hijab in front of the world. I am a Muslim woman. If I'm doing something and I'm calling myself a Muslim, so that's wrong, So we have a limit. So I will not say, yes, it can be the male dominated society because of the men, the culture, the men around us who are living with us. But the new generation of the Saudi men, they are not like that. They don't think the same way which our forefathers in Saudi Arabia they were thinking. But that was their exposure. They were living in that century. But the 21st century Saudi men, they have the more exposure, and they don't mind, they don't care if we are educated Saudi women, and they are a supportive men.
You've talked about the propaganda, the negativity shown in the outer world, away from Saudi Arabia in the West world or throughout the rest of the globe. How do you balance Saudi Arabia being an Islamic country, having the Sharia laws, and to able to amalgamate, to integrate by participating in mainstream activities such as education and the women taking on the mainstream jobs? It must be difficult, it must be challenging to live in an Islamic country.
I'm proud of our Sharia laws, and I'm not stopped because I am working there. You can see me. Nobody stopped me. And intimating with the men doesn't mean that you are doing something wrong. Of course, you are living in the world where you can have a children, you can have men, you can have women. All everyone has a right to work together, and we are working as well. But if I'm with the men working, I do the proper hijab. I am in my hijab and working side by side. And I have been in the media since 15 years. Nobody stopped me to work because I am qualified. I know my job very well. Yes, if you are not a journalist, you don't act like a journalist. If you are engineer, do your work as an engineer, don't be a doctor. This is the only thing. And to me, because I was a qualified, nobody stopped me. I was the first journalist, the Saudi journalist, who starts doing the sting operations there. And everybody, yes, I was embarrassed as well. Sometimes people try to embarrass me. They said, oh, look, she's a girl. But these are the people, some people, not all. And these are just a pinch of salt. They couldn't
So
stop
there's
me.
been times where you've been humiliated or you've been degraded by some odd people in the society. But do you feel that's been an obstacle which you've jumped, a hurdle which you jumped, and it's been better for you?
See, yes, in every society, there are the obstacles and these type of stereotypes, man. They try to stop the way of the woman. If I was not traveling to any other part of the world, because I have seen the other countries as well, so that was not the obstacles for me because I know this is the international issue. Everywhere in every society, the women are demoralized, and if it is in our society as well, so that this is not something new for me. So, but see the majority. Why I will take this a pinch of salt, some elements who are trying to be the obstacles for me. and I will take them serious. No, they couldn't stop me, and I was not stopped. I was moving ahead, and that is this factor of discouraging the woman is not it's only in Saudi Arabia. It's everywhere, everywhere. So why I will feel hurt? No, I am going ahead, and today I am here.
Maybe you'd like to share with the listeners this honourable position which has been awarded to you and celebrated. What sort of work have you contributed in the society which has given you this recognition?
The Great Woman Award, of course, it was a big honor for me, and but I was more happy that when anybody will know about me, oh, the Great Woman Sameera Aziz, especially the women, they try to search about me and browse about me, and with my interviews and my life history, they get the inspiration. So that is more, it gives me so pleasure that, of course, if from because of this title, the women of they want to search about me or browse, and they get some inspiration that why she's a great woman, we should be like her. So it gives me a lot of pleasure and satisfaction. Yes, there is somebody who is gaining something good because of me.
Your encouragement, your motivation, particularly in Saudi Arabia when you attend ceremonies, events, and other organizations, how do you see the Muslim women or the women of Saudi Arabia coming out to show their sport, being present there with you? Is it a trend which is developing, or do you feel you have sufficient sport?
From the women of Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Arabian women, yes, I'm getting a good support from them. Even if I myself recently, it is happening that I am going to bank or anywhere, they just come and hug me and just kiss me. I'm standing in the lift, somebody recognize me, and they're hugging. Oh, Sameera, doing a good job. If anywhere I'm going, because we have all women sections, women are working side by side by men, and of course there will be more women in more field, they are coming soon. So whatever this women support, I'm getting a good encouragement and women support. Unfortunately, there are not so many women, they are open hearted, they might be following you, and but they will not come in front of you. I want to tell to the woman, just go ahead and encourage other women. Maybe she will feel something. Yes, because I have been working a lot for the woman, I'm very much sensitive about the woman, and I love women. And so many people, they said, oh, she is a feminist. They call me feminist, and because of my support of the woman. So I want to tell the women to support each other instead of being jealous or discourage them. If you are following some woman, if you are a good human being, just take them as your inspiration. Don't be negative for her, so then you can create a happy world for yourself and for others as well.
Your engagement and contribution in the mass media is well recognized and celebrated internationally. Do you feel that it was important to engage in the voluntary sector, sector by doing charity work, and what sort of impact has this work had within the communities you live in? Is there any evidence, any justification by you engaging, by you being an iconic figure, it's helped and supported other women to achieve?
The charity work for me is, if I am there in Jeddah, and if any woman call me, her husband is beating her or something, just instead of sleeping in the morning, just go to the courts or to the police station, be with her to support her. And especially the expatriates women, they usually, they contact me.
Don't you sometimes feel vulnerable that issues like domestic violence can be a little bit nasty and there could be some repercussions
It
from
become
the authorities?
it become nasty. No, but by the authorities, they really support. They are totally against of domestic violence, and if there is any complaint, they take a very very strict action. In our country, Saudi Arabia, you can have a jail for a 1 year and 50,000 real. You can give the penalty if you are beating your wife. And before, we did not had this law, but when we take the action, we talk to our authorities, and then finally we have this strict law against domestic violence.
Domestic violence, abuse of any form, or honor killings. What's your views on this?
Mm, of course, it should be stopped. The women, they are the weak creature, and they deserve the love and respect. And recently, what happened with the Kandil Baloch? She was a Pakistani, but It is not only a factor of Pakistan. I want to talk because of her case. I want to talk as it is an international issue, and for the Kandil Baloch, because it's a recent incident. When I wake up early in the morning, I saw the news. It made my whole day ruined. And of course, I did not like some of her activities, but she didn't deserve to be killed this way. And what is the honor in killing? I don't understand. And I just want, through this platform, and in other platforms also, I was keep telling this: the Pakistani government should take very strict action against her killer, so it will discourage the honor killing in that country. Repeat.
In recently in Pakistan, I've heard that in the print media they are looking at developing some sort of law which could be 1.32. Recently in Pakistan, I've been looking at some of the print media, which is highlighting that the judicial review and the legislation around pardoning the honor killing should be changed, and the bias against honor killing should be looked at. Do you feel this will have any practical impact, or is it just something on paper?
It can be only, effective if you really do the action. And the main, just to prove this, you have to, this Kandil Baloch, she was so much highlighted in media, which should not be highlighted, because I don't think she did something. There are more educated and very, you can say, honorable women in Pakistan. Kandil Baloch was honorable for me as well as a woman, but as a Muslim woman, there are so many Pakistani women, I know them, they have been doing lots of work which Pakistani media should can feel proud and can highlight them. But okay, if they highlight them, this become a reason of her honor killing. So now this is the media's responsibility to ask, to highlight the issue by taking the action against her killing, and her killer should not be escaped at any cost. These type of laws can be in paper, but they should be implemented in a fair way, and also highlight what the action has been taken against her killer, so and other killers can get the lesson of it, and educate the society and educate them that this honor killing, there is no honor in killing, and it is not an Islam.
Now, obviously, it's an ongoing situation, the honor killing in Pakistan, and I'm sure yourself, you're a very prominent journalist, and you'll be sharing your views and thoughts, and try to, obviously, through your opinions, expose whatever you feel is important. But now, coming towards your assertiveness, being multilinguist, it must be very resourceful in Saudi Arabia that you're able to communicate in many different languages. Maybe you'd like to share with the viewers of LB24 News which other languages you can fluently speak. I know English, you are speaking beautifully now.
I can speak Urdu as well and Arabic. And for Urdu, I have been getting lots of awards. I'm a first Saudi novelist of Urdu language, and one of my poetry book has been published already. Its name is Kagaz Ki Zameen. Another is coming
Kagaz
soon.
mean would be translated in English.
Kagaz Ki Zameen, an earth of paper, and another Mom Ki Gudiya,
Mom Ki Gudiya.
a doll made with a doll of wax.
The reasons you chose this subject, the both of the subject, was there any personal attachment to you, or was it something which you wanted to highlight through your poetry in this publication?
The poetry, I always say that either you are a poet or either you are not. And for writing, I have been writing since my childhood. From the age of 9, I have been writing. I was writing for children magazines before, and then I gradually transferred to the women magazine, and then I came into journalism. And if you are a writer, you can be a good journalist as well. So I worked in a decision making post in journalism and print media as well, and I carried on my poetry and my other literary work in Urdu language, which are translated in other languages as well. What inspired me is the events surroundings me, and I usually work in a true stories, even in my film as well, what I'm making. the
We'll come to
screenplay.
the film in a short while
Yeah.
because I'm so interested. Obviously, the viewers of LB24 are very eager to find out your personal development and your inspiration. They say a person, like you said, either they have it or they don't have it. There's a phrase in Urdu, Hindi, Allah ki den, gift from God. Do you feel you are blessed with this gift, or is it your hard work, your enthusiasm, which has brought you to the limelight?
Uh, I was blessed, of course, but then I keep studying about the poetry. I studied advanced Urdu, and I was keep studying the other poets as well. It is very important to keep gaining the knowledge. Whatever you are doing, keep gaining the knowledge. Don't think you are a perfect. Just keep trying, and until the last breath, you have to keep learning in a humble way. So my poetry, I think, in the beginning, maybe it was not so much 100% maybe correct or something. But now, whatever my poetry is being launched in 2 books, and this, so I have improved a lot. I think because of my keep learning attitude.
Obviously, as they say, that education is an ongoing process in life. We're always learning and training. Now, uh, because you are so passionate with the literature, the Urdu literature, and you've won awards in enhancing relations between Hindu Pak, and you've also received recognition in your literary form. Maybe for the sake of the people who enjoy listening to poetry or themselves, maybe they do poetry. How would you like to elaborate? How would you like to share something with the viewers here on LB24? कुछ ऐसी poetry या कुछ अशार चंद अशार जो आप पेश करना चाहते हैं? Maybe for the sake of the ones who are very attached and very inspired with the linguistics of Urdu, you'd like to share one of your favorite or maybe a few lines of your favorite poetry?
या बिल्कुल, मैं फिर उर्दू में बताऊंगी. मेरी किताब है कागज़ की ज़मीन. उससे उसकी मुनासबत से मैं ये शेर आपकी नज़र करना चाहूँगी. है बारिशों का खौफ, है बारिशों का खौफ, मगर हौसलों के साथ कागज़ की इस ज़मीन पर बैठे हुए हैं हम. और एक गज़ल है, जो ये गज़ल मैं
अच्छा, ये जो वाली थी आपने ये कागज़ की ज़मीन के हवाले से, इसके साथ is this attached to you in any way through this journey of your life? Has it have any impact or any effect? शायद इस वजह से आपने इसको इस वक्त हाईलाइट किया है हमारे व्यूज के लिए.
बिल्कुल, हम सब जो हैं अपनी अपनी किसी न किसी रिस्क में, किसी किसी ख़तरे में जो ज़िंदगी है, हम एक दांतों के दरमियान एक ज़ुबान की तरह से गुजार रहे होते हैं. मगर इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि हम हौसला छोड़ दें या आगे बढ़ना छोड़ दें. हम सब कागज़ की ज़मीन पे बैठे हुए हैं और बारिशें किसी भी टाइम पर हो सकती हैं, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि हम हौसला हार के आगे बढ़ना छोड़ जाएं बारिशों के खौफ से.
इसके अलावा यू वांट टू शेयर अ गज़ल विद अस. तो गज़ल जो है ये बहुत ही मुश्किल काम है लिखना, इनको डिसाइड करना. आपके लिए क्या मायने रखता है? किसी कोई ऐसे पोइट से या किसी शायर से आप इंस्पायर हुई जिनका नाम आप लेना चाहती हैं या क्रेडिट देना चाहती हैं?
मैं परवीन शाकिर मरहुमा से काफ़ी इम्प्रेस्ड हूँ. वसी शाह मुझे काफ़ी पसंद है.
They are the renowned poets from Pakistan.
हाँ, मैं इनको स्टडी करती रही हूँ. गालिब का दीवान, मेरा ख़्याल है कि आप सबको, अगर आपको शायरी करने में जो है इंटरेस्ट है, दिलचस्पी है, तो गालिब का दीवान समझ के ज़रूर पढ़ें, तो आप बहुत कुछ सीख सकते हैं और ग्रेजुअली आप इम्प्रूव करते हो. शुरू में अगर कोई आपको डिस्करेज कर रहा है, कह रहा है कि नहीं आप शायरा नहीं, अमूमन एक शायर दूसरे शायर को शायर ही नहीं मानता है, और ख़ास तौर पर अगर वो खातून शायरा हों तो वो दूसरे वाले को जो है अपने आप को तो वो बहुत ऊंचा समझेंगे और सामने वाले को वो, तो ऐसा एटीट्यूड अच्छा नहीं है. दूसरों को अप्रिशिएट करना और दूसरों को कबूल करने की आदत डालना बहुत ज़रूरी है.
Sometimes discouragement can be for the betterment, like you've said. कि कुछ लोग जो है ना दूसरों के हौसले बुलंद या उनके एटीट्यूड नेगेटिव होते हैं, तो आप क्या समझते हैं कि उनके जो हौसले बुलंद होते हैं ऐसे लोगों के साथ मुलाकात करके?
Yeah, for me, discouragement is always for the betterment, because I am like a warrior. If somebody will stop me, don't do this, I will do this then, because I want to show that, look, you are stopping me and I have done. I'm like this. But for some people, most of the people, they are not a warriors like me. If somebody will discourage them, they will fall down. and I can't see anyone falling down. I have I have been, I have made many journalists. I had the students, so many students. Some were so thankless, but there were some I am proud of them today as well. They have become a big name. They have achieved a lot as a journalist, and they are like my child. There are so many people who were discouraging them and this, and they had maybe some physical disabilities or some confidence issues, and today I'm watching them flying. So
You're more of a positive role model, inspirer, motivator. Now, moving on towards the ghazal you've chosen or selected for the viewers here on the television. Any reason you're going to be reciting this?
नहीं, ये गज़ल मुझे लगता है कि हमारे सामीन को बहुत महसूस करेगी, पसंद आएगी। तो इस वजह से मैं ये गज़ल सुनाना चाहती हूँ। बहुत सारे सिंगर्स हैं जिन्होंने ये गज़ल पिक की गाने के लिए, विच इज़ रियली ऑनर फॉर मी। तो मुलाहिज़ा कीजिए। जाने कब वो आएगा लेके प्यार आँखों में, जाने कब वो आएगा लेके प्यार आँखों में, आंसुओं के लश्कर हैं बेकरार आँखों में। कैसे देखने जाएं हम महल मुसर्रत का, कैसे देखने जाएं हम महल मुसर्रत का, गम के शहजादे हैं बेशुमार आँखों में। कौन है खुदा जाने कुछ पता नहीं हमको, कौन है खुदा जाने कुछ पता नहीं हमको, घूमता है एक चेहरा बार बार आँखों में। कब गुरूब हो जाए फासले का ये सूरज, कब गुरूब हो जाए फासले का ये सूरज, दिल है मेरा चौखट पर इंतज़ार आँखों में। और दिल की दे के हल्की सी दस्तक फिर चले गए आकर, दे के हल्की सी दस्तक फिर चले गए आकर, लग गई है अश्कों की फिर कतार आँखों में। अब अपने सामने रखकर आईना मोहब्बत का, अपने सामने रखकर आईना मोहब्बत का, ढूंढते हैं खुद को हम बार बार आँखों में। और आखिरी शेर है, मुलाहिज़ा कीजिए। अब तो अपना चेहरा भी लग रहा है धुंधला सा, अब तो अपना चेहरा भी लग रहा है धुंधला सा, जम गया जुदाई का वो गुबार आँखों में, जाने कब वो आएगा लेके प्यार आँखों में, आंसुओं के लश्कर हैं बेकरार आँखों में।
वाह, क्या बात! Incredibly beautiful. I wish I had the knowledge of Urdu, the way you speak it and the way you describe the words. Honestly, I'm lost for words. I'm speechless how I can describe my inner feelings. But I would say you've shared a poem of love, but it's balanced the broken heart and then reconciliation. You're trying to feel or trying to give the message, be positive, although the love is not triumph. Am I right?
Yeah, it's just romantic. It's a voice of a woman. And I just share it so the listeners can feel the beauty of a femininity in love. So that's why.
Yeah. Now, to do poetry or to write, obviously, ये जो अंदाज है, it must be very concentrated. You need time, you need space, you need privacy. Where do you get all this space and the privacy? Obviously, you've got to be concentrated. It's difficult.
Yeah, my life
How you
has.
describe your life is very busy. You have so many activities you do. Are you constantly thinking, or do you have to switch off from your normal calls?
No, my life is like that. I cannot switch off, or I cannot, stay alone. And yes, we need the concentration. Sometimes, the amad hoti hai, like the poetry is coming in your mind, and then the verses, and I just write it in any paper or in my tab, and then I concentrate it to finish it maybe in the night time when I'm alone, and of course. And actually, I have so many ghazals since 23 years. I have been, doing this poetry, and now I'm starting to give it to the publisher. Actually, the publisher, they asked me when I started. I was not taking lots of mushaira to recite, but thanks for Indian fans. And once I went in a mushaira, and then they started inviting me, and then they launched my book, and it was one of the biggest book launch in the history of Maharashtra. Thanks for Indian fans. More than 25,000 people were there just to
Wow.
encourage me, along with so many big political figures and so many celebrities, and 25,000 more than that. It was something, and the topmost of the Indian poets were there as well, just to encourage me.
Sameera Aziz, how do you manage to accommodate, to cope, and also to keep a very low profile, to control your egos after having all this acclaim of success and the following and the appreciation? I'm sure sometimes you need to balance it somehow. What do you do?
I don't keep myself low profile at all, because I am a face of Saudi Arabia. I want to show myself to the world that look at me, I am a Saudi woman, educated woman of 21st century. So I deliberately don't want to keep myself low profile. I communicate to the whole world in my social media. I sometimes come online. My fans become extremely happy whenever I come and appear. And in social media, I'm very much active. And ego, no, not at all. Because if you have an ego, you will not be in touch with your fans. And I love to meet with my fans and my well wishers, even the
But
people who don't
sometimes
like me.
automatically, when you gain the recognition or you're surrounded with fans, that you develop some sort of proudness or you get this ego, and it's difficult to control that. How do you control it?
I think I'm still, I remember my
Because you're
days
so
when I was,
accessible, you're very accessible.
yeah,
Would you say you're a people's person?
yeah, I'm very people loving person, but I keep remembering my days. The first day when I was a daughter of a poor widow, and how I struggled for my education. Having a child in your lap, and she's a newborn baby, and you are running for your exams. I still remember the day, when I was giving my exam, and my small baby, she was just 30 days old. And I was just looking at her because she was asking for the milk, for the mother milk, and I was not able to give her a milk because of my exam. And suddenly the invigilator, she came to me. She said, oh, you are trying to do the cheating, why you're watching in the window a lot? Then I said, that's my baby, she want the milk. She hugged me and she said, go and give her a milk. And she said to the other girls, look, this is a girl, and I am telling you, tomorrow she is somebody, and we will all be proud of her. And she said, you are such a young girl, how can this is, you're a mother, this is your baby. I said, yes. She said, go, I will give you more, half an hour, give her a milk, and come back. And these type of struggles, I was just after every 3 weeks I was running to my college just to finish my attendance quotas. I was fired in one university. I don't want to name that university, but they fired me just because I couldn't complete my education quota. I was the PhD student there. And then another university, which is the Osmania University, they opened their arm for them. They said, you have to do the PhD. Come, we will give you an honorary degree and you can study as well. And because of my attendance issue, because I have been so much busy, I was a mother, I am a working lady, how to cope with
Yeah.
my
Is your
family,
PhD
with my,
pending? Is it still pending?
yeah, I'm still doing my PhD. Maybe I will do my PhD 10 times, 11 times again. I will take admission to another university, taking education until my grave.
How do you feel by uh, being born in Saudi Arabia, living in Jeddah, and being in the nearest towards the most holiest places of the world for the Muslim Ummah? That's the Holy Kaaba, and obviously our Prophet's Masjid Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's resting place there. How does that make you feel? What sort of spirituality energies do you gain?
I am honored. Of course, it is something. I'm a most luckiest person living there in that place, and I can tell you, whenever you pray there, and if, with the heart and our Allah, they accept the prayers. And my own prayer, whatever, I ask from my Allah. I want from the media. I want to do something with my goal and passion. I want to go ahead. Whatever I pray, and it accepted. Whatever I ask from Allah there at that place in Haram in Makkah, and Allah accepted it as it is. So this is my personal experience.
Do you
So
feel instant prayers are accepted there because you're privileged, honored to be in the vicinity of the holiest places of the world for the Muslim Ummah? Many people have this wish, and they're always praying to Allah that they get invited, and once they go there, they feel they are very privileged, honored, and it's special for them. This sacred visit is going to be a lifetime visit and be remembered. For yourself and many millions of people who are residing in Saudi Arabia in the vicinity, like Jeddah, Riyadh, and other places, do you still have the same speciality, same honor, same izzat for these places, or maybe something normal for you?
no, of course, it's not normal. I feel myself a very lucky. I'm just 45 minutes away from Mecca and just 4 hours drive in Medina. And of course, I always take the opportunity to do my Umrah whenever I
MashaAllah.
feel, heavy or I have to communicate to my Allah. Of course, I can communicate to Him wherever I am. But to go there and have to say Allah, thank you so much, whatever He has given me, and He is accepting my good deeds. This is also something, a blessings of Allah.
Earlier in the conversation which we have been having, you've mentioned about being an ambassador, promoting Saudi Arabia here in the UK in London. I'm sure that there's some negativity vibes which are shared or concern of international communities. For example, here in England, we see on the social media um, allegedly that the communities from Pakistan or Bangladesh or that vicinity who go for employment in the Middle East or in the Gulf or in Saudi Arabia, they are discriminated because who they are and they are not treated properly. How would you elaborate? How would you answer this question? How accurate? How much of truth is there in this?
First of all, I will say that of course, maybe some incidents were true, but not all. Social media is not a reliable thing to understand, and in journalism also, and it is in Islam as well. Don't hear the one-sided story. There are the two-sided of a coin. So every story has a two sides. If you are a judge, if you cannot, you have to listen to the other party as well. If you are a journalist, I always tell my reporters,
Have you had any practical experience or anybody
so
witnessed
many,
anything and have they logged any complaints or asked you to do any reporting on these incidents?
because I'm a social worker as well. So of course I have been going through lots of incidents like that. But when I come to know about the other side of the coin, other side of the story, I come to know the guilty is that one. There are the employee and employer's rights. So how can you only talk about the employee rights and not the employer? If one employer is
But
bring
there's vibes which we picked up on, for example, the passports, all the human rights are taken away, they can't leave the premises or the workplace, and they are being so harsh to them. Uh,
the people, yeah, it's a crime there to hold a passport of this. But I have to tell, if you have a 2 years contract, everywhere you have a contract. Of course, if a doctor is also working, he has to come in a 2 year contract. So you have to finish your contract. How come a Saudi employer, he has sending you a visa of 2500 riyal, spending the money, and you are then coming, and then your iqama fees, your health insurance fees, and other expenses all. He has spent overly like more than 10,000 riyal than you. Then of course this is his right, and this is your responsibility to at least work with him for 2 years. How can you jump to another one and you have let him spend a lot of money of him to you? So that is not your own money you are coming here. That is not your own visa you are coming there. This is something, a very genuine and basic thing which the whole world should understand. And this is not something a slavery, because a doctor, engineer, anything, if in your own country, if you're working, you have a contract with them. Everywhere I have seen. So what's wrong if Saudi Arabia is getting a contract? You have to, if Saudi employer is giving you a contract for 2 years, at least you have to stay with him for 2 years, then go back and then come back to your new employer. There is nothing wrong on
obviously,
it.
now, obviously, these are the views which you're sharing, your personal points of views there. As a journalist, as a citizen of Saudi Arabia, maybe if somebody has viewed this program and they have a problem or they wanted to contact you, how would you take up their matter in a professional manner?
Yeah, if he is right, then of course, in a professional way, I used to go to the authorities and deliver their case, represent their case to them. And in Saudi Arabia, they have lots of justice. It's an Islamic law. There cannot be injustice there. If he is right, he will get his rights as well. So I was just telling in general cases. I was not telling for a specific case, but usually the complaint around the world, I am aware about it. They talk about the sponsorship system and all this. So I was telling that generally, that if you are coming in your sponsor's visa and he has spent this money on you, then of course this is your responsibility to be with him for at least finishing the contract until 2 years.
I'd love to continue this conversation, but you have other commitments and I have to attend a conference. Very concisely, I want to bring in some information about the film which you are writing. You've done the script and you're being the first Saudi producer director. Maybe you'd like to elaborate and give the brief information about this project.
Actually, I'm from print media, but now I wanted to communicate to the world in most powerful way, and which was the film medium. That's why I'm making a film. I will shoot in Jeddah, and I want to show the 21st century Saudi Arabia to the world. They are aware about Makkah and Medina, and they have seen it. But I am a
Saudi Arabia production, or is it?
It's a Bollywood production.
Oh, it's a Bollywood.
It's a Bollywood movie. But the
it must
first
be
time
very difficult to break into Bollywood.
it was challenging for me, but challenging doesn't mean impossible. Of course, it took my lots of efforts and time, but finally I'm doing this, and I have my film is going on floor after lots of research and hard work. I have written the 8th draft of the screenplay. Can you imagine that? Lots of research and hard work is there, but of course I'm going to expose 65 locations of Jeddah. We always say Jeddah ghair, Jeddah is different. I will show the world that different Jeddah, the lifestyle of a Saudi woman, the inside story of Saudi Arabian homes. There will be the Saudi actors working side by side with the Bollywood actors. It's a full-fledged feature movie.
So it will have all the normal scenes which people are very inspired with Bollywood. You will have music, drama, romance.
Exactly. We have music, drama, romance, everything. It's a Bollywood movie. It will be dubbed in English and Arabic as well, and it will show first time the Bollywood will see Saudi Arabia, and the Saudi actors will work with the Bollywood actors side by side.
Would you like to share the title of the movie?
The name of the movie is Reem, and it is based on a true story. I only work in the true incidents. I don't work in a fiction.
First of all, your message to the viewers, and especially for the women who want to come into the world of journalism.
I want to say, women, just take care of your education. There is nothing bigger than the knowledge. So keep gaining the knowledge and don't stop. Don't think that, oh, we have done a lot, we have taken a lot of degrees. There is no boundary, no limit to educate yourself. Keep educating yourself until the grave, and learn to support other women, learn to love other women. And for my supporters, thank you so much for supporting me. And whenever you gave me something to think that I have to give you more with your encouragement and support. Thank you too much. Love you all.
And finally, if you'd like to give any website address or any details.
My website is sameeraaziz.com. That's spelled SAMEERA AZIZ.com, and you can get my official pages direct through my website as well.
We've reached to the moment where we don't like to say the word Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna, as they usually say in the Bollywood movies, but for this moment I would like to convey a hearty gratitude with respect on behalf of LB24 and also from the viewers. Thank you so much, Sameera Aziz, for your very valuable time, and I'm sure your interview has been very inspiring and well received by the viewers. Once again, thank you very much. Hopefully we'll catch up with you on the release of your Bollywood movie Reem. Thank you.